You, like me, like most of the people on this planet, have been hustling so hard growing your business since 2018. You've discovered the power of growing a business online. But between 2018 and 2024, something has changed. Something has fizzled out. It feels like you want to burn it to the ground. It feels like you're working so hard and the results are not appearing as fast as they used to. And it's not because you've done anything wrong. Believe you me, you haven't. You've just been burning on empty. And the reason being is because your manual labor has been pushed forward and been produced without emotional clarity. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Sam Coy Evans, the founder of the Dear EQ. And my purpose, my mission on this earth is to help kingdom leaders, powerful women, remove the emotional interference, the spiritual confusion that is blocking them from achieving a legacy through the eyes of the Lord. That feels so good saying that loud. But do you know what? That never used to be me. If you think for 1 minute that I always knew what I was going to be talking about, think again. I have been one of these women where I discovered the power of growing our business online. And I loved organizing. I love lists. I love structure. I loved having an external workflow. But despite having all of the workflow, there was still something really disorganized inside of me. And one of the traps that most women fall under is one of my archetypes, which is a strategist, is that, don't get me wrong, look, we all need to have structure. We all need to have order and we need to have systems to grow our business because we're not supposed to be on 24/7. But what's happened is women, kingdom leaders are beginning to use strategy as an excuse as to why they're not getting to the next level. There is a really beautiful coach I love who teaches systems in such a strategic, beautiful way. I love her with all my heart and soul. In fact, if it wasn't for her in 2020, I would not have the systems in place that I have today. That's the gorgeous Lisa Johnson. Now, because of the systems and structures that I've built, what I also did is I kept changing it. I kept changing it because I didn't allow it to function fully. I didn't allow it to have mistakes. If I didn't get the thing that I wanted, it was like, that's it, start again. It's the coach's fault. It's that fault. Not that I blamed anyone particularly, but I felt that I was being attacked. I began to get distracted. I became inconsistent. I began to have the ebbs and the flows. What we was taught to believe was called duality. Let me tell you something now about duality. It's a lie. And I knew it way back then, but I was so afraid of saying the truth in case I got it wrong. But I know from my heart, we cannot have two sides of the coin. You can't be happy and sad at the same time. You can't be ungrateful and grateful at the same time. You can't be angry and happy at the same. You cannot have both. But you also cannot grow a business in a deep state of despair. You cannot build a business if you are burnt out and exhausted. You cannot grow an empire. If someone's telling you, well, that's all right, it's just an off day, just get over it. Work on your mindset. How many times have we been told that? Work on your mindset. Look, I was a training provider. I was a training provider because I saw a gap in the way that women were working with other women. So many women were complaining that they weren't getting the results that they had paid for. And all the reason why that the clarity did not happen is because you've misunderstood what the kingdom words mean. When you're growing your business, it's about having posture. And I don't just mean the way you hold yourself, that's just a part of it, but it's the posture you hold within you. When you have posture, it's pure, God given, obedient alignment. It's where your mind is not ruled all the time by the niggly voices. It's where your heart is pure and open and ready to receive, no matter how you're feeling. And when you get that into alignment, clarity lands. Now, I saw a post saying that if I see the word clarity on social media, I know it's AI. But you have to ask yourself, why is AI talking about clarity? Because so many people don't have it. So I'm going to share an example with you. My journey in the quickest way. I began coaching, started doing NLP, timeline therapy. I started to go into the entrapment of I need to get to do XYZ to reach millions. I was like, well, I want to be a millionaire. Who doesn't? But it's not about earning a million and having it in your bank. It's about how you hold yourself, even when you have £100 in your bank. You're wealthy no matter how much money is in your bank. Wealth is not determined by the amount of money you got in your bank. It's determined by how you carry your posture through the kingdom. Now, the kingdom's been there way, way, way back many centuries. So if this has all been written in scriptures, how to hold yourself, how to have clarity, how to have a clean heart, then why is it that everyone is feeling confused right now? Why is everyone feeling the need to go back to religion and leave in the new age? Now, I'm not about religion. I'm not here to tread on anyone's parade. I'm not here to judge anybody. But the Father is not asking you to follow anything that is man made. The Father is asking you to come back to Him. Now, when you come back to Him, that's when clarity becomes an obedience. Clarity is not a feeling. Clarity is a reward that happens when you no longer allow the emotional interference of the world dictate your outcomes. Because confusion is just static. It's like zzz, zzz. It's like zzz. It's an interruption. It's this icky feeling that blocks you from having calmness. So most women say, oh, I will do this when I feel more clear. I don't have the clarity yet. But clarity is the reward on the last thing you were told to do. So what was that last thing that you was told to do, but you decided you need to get crystal clear? I'll give you another example. I felt like I always had to keep building my funnels, had to go back and keep changing, but it's already there. And I'm going to be really honest with you. I have been mortified, petrified, making excuses to come and build this playlist. This playlist was supposed to be built back in 20 November, but my nana passed away. Now, heartache is one of the greatest experiences that allows you to really learn the posture of the heart. And when you totally govern that, you will then be able to reveal exactly what it is that you are supposed to be achieving. Because if you sit and ponder continuously, feeling drained, feeling exhausted, feeling burnt out, then you are stuck in your head. You're not listening to the heart, and the heart is fueled with trauma, blocks, negativity, interference. And when that is confused, the line gets fuzzy. And if the line gets fuzzy, well, there's no spiritual discernment coming through, there's no spiritual wisdom coming through. Obedience cleans the air. You don't need the whole map, you just need the next step. And even if you do one small thing that he said to you, for example, get people on your YouTube program. That's what I heard. And I was like, well, I don't even know how to do that. Market on YouTube. Market. I'm like, okay, I'm not going to pay anyone to do it. I'm just going to go do it. And that's how the YouTube program was birthed. And so when the clarity starts to feel more in alignment within your body, you start to see more clearly. Your peripheral vision changes deeply, and you no longer feel like you're just like looking for a crooked glass. Because having an internal operating system that allows you to function clearly, your sat nav's on, the fog lifts, and your architectural groundwork becomes in alignment with the work that you are doing. And when that clarity kicks in, when you stop trying to be like everybody else, when you get rid of the noise, you start realizing what you're supposed to be actually doing. So I know for a fact emotional intelligence was the thing for me. I didn't know what, I didn't know how, but I kept hearing it. I tried a certification program. I tried teaching people how to use it. I created Ignite Your Power. I created Authentically Aligned, Authentically Ascend to bring the power of emotional intelligence through these courses. But the thing was, it was noisy. It was entangled with other people's words. It was, it was, it was kind of a little bit like jumping on other people's bandwagons, like their personalities and their noise, and trying to make it my own. And that's when I was told to stop. Stop using other people's stuff. Stop using other people's work. Stop, 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 stop. And because I was able to sit in stillness, not doing absolutely nothing, but being able to allow the words to be revealed on what it is that I'm supposed to do, that's how the DOEQ was born. See, the father, he knows timing, not speed, not confusion. And when we get entangled, our nervous system gets anxious. Our nervous system holds us back. And then we start allowing voices in our head telling us to, it's not going to work, go do something else, change your mind, change your mind. And it keeps you stuck in this loop. But even little words like boutique, simplicity, when these words came through in 2022, I did not know what it meant. And in order for me to understand what it means, I had to really go through emotional waves, patterns, and behaviors so I can understand boutique means just having a simple order of items where people can come into my world. I just needed to focus on the DOEQ, which means in the Hebrew meaning, through the hands of God, discernment is revealed into the hidden. Like you just cannot make it up. But this revelation was only able to happen when I stopped being like everybody else, when I stopped being busy. Because the Father don't care about how much work you do, He cares about your alignment to His will. And when you are able to hear that clarity as an instruction, your productivity becomes the execution. You start taking action without needing to hang on to sales or outcomes because the fruit will flourish as the seed is planted on the rock, not built on sand. If your business and structure is built on sand, then what's going to happen is your productivity will feel like a whole waste of time. Now, I don't want you to think that it has been a waste of time because divine pacing means having the clarity to know when to stay still, being unshaken without panicking, knowing that everything that you've been through is the moment for you to recognize that you're here for a reason. And you take that learnings, you take that knowledge, and you acquire the wisdom, and you share it, and you create something that the Father wants you to do. This is video one of this playlist series, The Sovereign Architect, because right now you are here to come back into order. So then you can start building without the noise of the world. And if you feel aligned to this video, comment below what was your biggest takeaway. I'd love to hear from you. Share it with someone who needs this message right now. And most importantly, if you feel tired, so tired of the confusion of working harder, pushing harder, then my dear EQ mini diagnostic is available. The link will be here in the captions because when you lead with clarity, the pressure will break and you will no longer feel blocked here in your heart. Because if you allow the pressure to lead, then you're going to keep collapsing. And it's time for you to rise. Let go of the need of collapsing and know that you're here for something bigger. That's why I used to say the power is within you, but the power is in God. And God's got you. I know it. So trust it.